So today, something stay. Kwasi ampenyi, who free sreboba any anya law Ghana. So yesterday I believed in this. Today I don't believe in the same thing. Yeah. Yesterday you believed in something. Today the same thing, you don't believe in it. What makes you a lawyer? What is your principal line? These are people who don't have any morality. These are people who are being fed like dogs. They give them red meat today, tomorrow give them more money, and they sit there, they believe they are intelligent, but deep down you can see they are hollow. They are very fake. They know nothing. Something I need. They know born to. Muntaka Mubarak Akasa or say a year albino almost take initiative to clamp down and I said to fight a year robberies on our road. A year acquaintance for a year Ghana, ya kwanya kesia, a quantum point, ye took one was no a year robbery no Sebio, a year interior minister, a year Muntaka, so almost devise a new strategy. Almost the armed robbers, Ghana Quans, Mumia could see a year the honorable minister Muntaka. Right.
Will come after you and will not be able to deal with them. Lastly, one of the major challenges that we used to have was the long stretch where armed robbers block people and then take all their resources. Today, under the watch of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, we've acquired armored buses. And these armored buses have been doing a wonderful thing on most of our long stretch routes because we keep branding them differently. Today we brand them as STC, the next day we brand them as VIP, another day we brand them OA, just to make sure that we get the perpetrators. And I can assure you the IGP and his team are doing excellently. We've been getting a lot of the highway armed robbers, and very soon we want to believe our highways will be much, much safer than they were before the coming of His Excellency. So I want to thank you and assure you that feel safe, cooperate with us, and we'll assure you we'll continue to make sure that the country is.
So that's the Interior Minister Muntaka Ekasaye, and you know, can you say, Abanwe would say a robbery on our routes, is getting a lot, and what they have put in place, and then say, Abino through the Interior Ministry, no more to me acquire buses via bulletproof buses. Omo astate emanefa a quantimpon, and I say highways are very sensitive, and I say prone to armed robbery attacks. Now, what they have done, and they say, to identify hotspots, baby, tie attack travelers are jono. Into some of these buses, they have decided say branding different colors sometimes. Sometimes they be green, sometimes they be blue, sometimes they be red, sometimes they be white. If you want branding to say state transport, if you want branding to say metro mass, if you want branding, what it does is it patrols these sensitive roads. In fact, your Akwanbi Ghana ha, oko Kintampo, oko some part of Srim, Kumasi so any other places are a hot spot for armed robbers to attack travelers. So what they have adopted and they say, identify all these hot spots and I say acquire armed robbers juma also pano major roads no to me acquire buses those buses say they just patrol on these roads. And what is happening is armed men in the buses, security agency for police for they are armed very well to the teeth. What they do, they say they patrol these very sensitive roads because sensitive roads are roads now armed robbers use they attacking Kofono. Then what they are doing is say it has been very fruitful. Almost to me, I clamp down a lot, and they are telling Muntaka Ekache Ghana for say going forward, they'll be acquiring more buses to make sure say robberies on our roads, in fact, so what study armed robbers or robbery Ghana, they normally attack people on very bad roads because normally ayana cars and our buses say what they do they say almost slow down, and when they slow down, that is when they get the opportunity to attack. And the first thing this government decided to do is to make sure say Ghana acquire the big push project is to make sure say traveling becomes easy so that armed robbers going to be difficult for them to basically obstruct trips na buses ni mikino. So we study armed robbery attacks it normally happens at places because the buses are forced, or the drivers are forced to slow down. And when they slow down, the armed robbers at the end of the day take advantage of Sadiano. The Honorable Minister, the Interior Minister Muntaka Aka, the initiative is good. I support it. I believe they should bring in more buses, and they should basically identify all the hotspots. Sebio Ejwediforo complaining more. Techima and so robbery hopper, Kentampo, Slim so robbery so pa over Ashanti region, Eastern region. There are some roads robbery no so pa because and Robert Jin say the traders no and as a no musu. So I believe that this is a good initiative by the Interior Minister. We should applaud him for what he's doing, and every support that we have to give him. No, yemwano na omuntumi enye ejuma no protect ye and protect ye ma menom. Recently, the employment into our security agencies, under his leadership, it was smooth, it was perfect, and so far, through his leadership, he's been able to make sure the process now is smooth. In the end, you don't hear a lot of commentaries, a lot of negative statements. So the Ministry of Interior, recruitment, and Ayabasa, you can see, there's some leadership, there's some authority, and the Interior Minister is showing, he's capable of making sure things are done right. For a very long time, we've not had a very effective Interior Minister. Why Juma for some time, with my correcting mistakes. Ahambo no actually Ghana for say, Juma nation and Muntaka has basically excelled in this position so far. And I believe he needs our support. We need to make sure he also needs to listen to us, listen to our advice, and make sure he does the things the way we want it done. And so far, he has proven himself. About our interior ministry, how effective it has been for the past 1 year, 5 months now. I think that he has really delivered on any deputy, So we should applaud him. And this initiative is very good. I also support it. That was the Interior Minister Muntaka Mubarak. Now, there's another story. What system we need to basically talk about. A private citizen. Private citizen petitions General Legal Counsel to investigate former AG Godfred Dame over allegations of professional misconduct in Ato Forson's trial. And I think this issue in fact, Aban Society Nanka say the Ghana Bar Association Omunanka Omutro sa a statement week first. Because you see, Ato Forson case na Godfred Dame Ekufuado. Eye Oforiatamo, Eye Omadwini say, Omo person de share Ato Forson kon na Godfred Dame leaded the crucifixion of Ato Forson. We all saw the lapses, the illegalities. Kronoa Ekoso, Adada, the former Attorney General Godfred Dame, the way and manner he manipulated judges, he manipulated the process, the way we clearly senior Godfred Dame Eshada Edi June. At a point, we had him on tape. And now, opese, or dada, Jakpa, Emma Jakpa, Echatro. We saw text messages. An Attorney General who basically acted like a criminal. An Attorney General who basically did not follow judicial process. An Attorney General who is a crook. He was basically doing criminal work for the president in 2024. We saw Godfred Dame, who is a lawyer who did not respect the judiciary, who basically got instructions from the highest office in our judiciary, that is Tokonu's office. And Godfred Dame basically was like a dog on rabies, basically going and flouting the law anyhow. Audio and Godfred Dame, an accused person, or try to convince an accused person to lie to favor him and his government. This Godfred Dame guy does not have any moral right to be working in Ghana and calling himself a lawyer. He's a disease to the legal fraternity. And this guy, we are not supposed to allow him to even practice in Ghana as a human being. But so for some reason, instead of us to pay attention to this kind of political insect, people parading as lawyers, people who are using political power to go after innocent people, criminals in black and white suits, criminals who have been given power by some corrupt certificateless fools to use our judicial system to abuse Ghanaians' rights. These are people we are not supposed to give any room to be working in Ghana as lawyers. So I believe, the General Legal Council, they should take this very, very serious. An investigation needs to be open. Godfred Dame needs to be questioned. The right thing needs to be done. If this guy has to be bad, he needs to be disbarred. Because, you see, the criminality in his action from the past, the deliberate criminal activity, the deliberate connivance with other judges to try and prosecute an opponent and a politician, all because of power. This guy is not supposed to be walking and feeling like he's a human being to be treated as one. So I believe and support this petition to the General Legal Council. Because you see, the General Legal Council and the Ekufuado was a corrupt General Legal Council. We all know. That is the same General Legal Councillor. Afenyomakin threatened Obi on phone. Abra Afenyomakin Obi wakwaji Obi yire enena da afano ema sani pano ninua bema JJ ako repi ana ode ne sakoke ka Obi mba. Afenyomakin kwasi ampenyi as a lawyer no ofre ni par sa threaten no. Afenyomakin we ya esafa eyede ne one of his colleagues in the law firm wo ema ne ko enkwara school wo ena ode sax ko tata enkwara no. He wanted to go kidnap people's kids. Afenyomakin was summoned at the General Legal Council because Tokonu and the rest of the council members, led by Samuel Okujato, they told Afenyomakin to go. So you see, the NPP judiciary, and the Ekufuado, it was basically like dogs on rabies. And Godfred Dame was the leader of these dogs on rabies. Now, at this point, I believe the General Legal Council should take this matter very seriously, because if anybody sees Godfred Dame in court speaking as a lawyer and representing clients, it makes it look like our judiciary, with all due respect, we don't know what we are doing. We are not intelligent enough to protect the judiciary. How can such a criminal act, per what happened and what we all listened and what we all saw, text messages, an Attorney General who became a lapdog to politicians, an Attorney General who became a political criminal, who was buying judges, who was buying witnesses, an Attorney General who was filled with corrupt acts. Sir Godfred Dame will what we heard and saw in 2024. This is an Attorney General Godfred Dame who was shopping for judges. I want this one. I want this one. I want this one. Now all pele. Some are not supposed to be working in our court in and out. No, we need to put them where they are. They are not supposed to be practicing law in Ghana. It is beginning to look like and Akromfo and Omutu practicing law in Ghana. Godfred Dame is not different from a criminal, a hardened criminal who is at Insawum, because he basically tried to manipulate the system, go against the judicial code, and make sure his opponents are jailed for no reason. So this guy is a hardened criminal. And we are not supposed to entertain such political insects parading in Ghana and walking like colicos and pretending they are intelligent. These are foolish people. So this petition is very important, and I support it. We need to go into it. We need to open an investigation into it. And if he's found guilty, we need to disbar this criminal, because all that he did was criminal. From the audio we listened to, from the text messages between him and Jakpa, from his actions, his utterances, a whole Attorney General to me court or say, because they will catch me as a criminal, I'm not going to question the accused. I'm going to make my deputy. That was a clear violation, because we realized, say, not on himself or a crime for. So he was scared that the suspect, who was Jakpa, will question him on his illegal actions. So this guy, Godfred Dame, is a criminal to me. Per the things that we saw, the things we heard, all the things that he did as the Attorney General for Ekufuado. This guy is not supposed to be entertaining Ghana court. He is a disease to our court. This is a simpliciter criminal. Simpliciter criminal. Why are we entertaining this? Per what we saw, the evidence we saw, all the audios I listened, the text messages between him and accused people, bringing accused people to a judge's home to convince them this guy is not supposed to be in court. This is a guy who is not supposed to be in court. He's a Sankwas lawyer. A lawyer who shops for judges. This guy is Sankuma. Sankuma's claim to fame was shopping for law judges. That's what they do. Halitosis. Akwaya a friend nenum kankan or tijo FMI. Akwaya nenum kankan. Your friend saying Samson Ayedini, nenum kankan. This guy, they shop for lawyers, judges. That's what they do in Ghana. They shop for judges. They have almost any case papa biada. Or but not TV so halitosis nenum kankan. Samson Ayedini on Kenyan Sembia. Endra, I believe in this. The same thing today, I don't believe it. There are men who don't even know they are men. They are confused about who they are. These are foolish people who are licking the butts of criminals in politics. Samson Ayenini, a very dirty riffraff. No principle guy. They sit on TV, they lie to people, they pretend they know the law, they know shit. They don't know zilch. They can't even win a case in Togo. And these fools are all walking on the streets of Ghana pretending they know law and they write stupid grammar, no sense, stupid, no principle. Halitosis. Samson Ayenini, case Papa Ben we were in this country when Samson Ayenini told us, or the Kenya Japan court, Kenya Japan can say, what in wants them? Oh, you're crown for. Samson Ayenini is a thief. He's a criminal. He's a thief. Politicians na otarta romoto na omoma nisikadi. Onimu nyansa. Ghana na yejimintira. Ayedina kwa ne num kankanya oba TV so only once a week become a journalist of the year. Enkwasi seme na ekoso no. And the kufuado. Criminals, raccoons, chipmunks and diseases were given positions in Ghana for no reason. Samson Ayenini, Godfred Dame, Esankuma. These are Gabi Ochedako. These are people who shop for judges. They know the judges they want. They tell their Tokonu, we want this judge, we want this judge, we want this. That is what they do. Samson Ayenini, they know born rough. Oh, so today, Samson stay. Kwasiam penny, who free Sreboba and any law Ghana. So you know, yesterday I believed in this. Today I don't believe in the same thing. Yeah. Yesterday you believed in something. Today the same thing, you don't believe in it. What makes you a lawyer? What is your principal line? These are people who don't have any morality. These are people who are being fed like dogs. They give them red meat today, tomorrow give them more money, and they sit there, they believe they are intelligent, but deep down you can see they are hollow. They are very fake. They know nothing. Samson Ayenini, they know born to. Halitosis when it's him. Osano pa or the so called education the num or we are now or the maxam education is saying or we are the powder above is no the air the board there or person the num bon can news file catch there. And saying you see the news file, they have separated his desk from the guest because Okasagu the password a gas go with him. And you know, and Samson's take and